Alrighty, everybody. So step number 4 has to do with after we've kind of gone through the map and we've picked out, okay, these are different places that I'm interested in. We found the honey holes. We looked at all of our neighboring states and located those programs. To further differentiate the ones that you want to continue to look at, we're going to add another 2 layers or another 2 indicators that you can look at. So cost of living is pretty easy, and I'm going to show you a simple way that you can look that up and kind of rank and rate that. And then first time pass rate on the NPTE. So the NPTE is the National Physical Therapy Examination. It's the test you have to take in order to become a licensed physical therapist. And that's why you're going to PT school. You are going to school so you can get a license, and then you can be able to go and practice wherever you choose to practice. So that's the indicator of how effective that PT school is at getting you to your end goal. Of course, they're going to teach you techniques and tricks and tips and the science behind why we're doing everything that we're doing. But ultimately, their job is to help you pass that test so you can get your license. Now let's take a look at the first criteria that we talked about, cost of living. Okay. So how can you accurately look this up and get an idea of how expensive it is to live in a particular city? There are a lot of different cost of living indexes that you can look up. Numbeo has been one of the biggest ones that I've used. And so if we go down here, you can rank the cost of living from lowest to highest. And this is for the United States and parts of Canada. And then you can go through and say, okay, well, this is the city that my university is located in and where I'll most likely have to live. And then you just compare that to other cities, and then you can plug all of these numbers into a spreadsheet, and that will give you an idea of, okay, this is how much the cost of living is in this city. And you want to compare these things because, everyone just thinks about, oh, well, this is how much the tuition costs to attend PT school. You have to still be able to live and pay rent and get food and pay for your car, other things like that. So cost of living expenses are huge to factor into the overall cost of attending PT school. And the lower the cost of living index is for the city that you choose to attend PT school, the program, then that gives you less loans you're going to have to pay back once you get out of school. And those are important things to consider. So cost of living is something that you can plug into a spreadsheet. You can compare it very easily. It's easy to compare and contrast different programs in different cities and states and get an idea of, okay, this is most likely how this is going to cost. And even if this particular city that the university is located in isn't on this index, you can look up cities that are closer, larger cities that are close by, and that will give you a pretty good idea of where you want to look. Okay. Now let's look at NPTE, or first time pass rate. Okay. So this is Northern Arizona universities. Again, I use them a lot as my example because I'm trying to make it look like if I was you going to a school-specific program, what would I do? So a lot of times you're going to look under the tabs. Program data or student outcomes is another very popular tab that you'll find this information under. And then you're just going to scroll down. They have a lot of their admission statistics, but then you also have the graduation statistics for these DPT program classes. Okay, so their first time pass rate, NAU is awesome because they publish it right on their website, and most reputable programs who have a good track record are going to publish their first time pass rate or make it very easily accessible to you. So for this one, what you're looking at is first time versus ultimate pass rate. What's the difference? First time pass rate is you take the test one time. How many of your students take the NPTE one time and pass it? Almost 97%, okay, for over 2 years, which is most programs you'll have 2 to 3 years of data of their most recent is what they'll publish, and that's what you want to take a look at. How do you know what a good score is? The number that I use kind of as a benchmark is if they have a 95% or higher first time pass rate, that usually is a pretty good indicator that program knows what they're doing. They prepare their students well, and the off chance that someone doesn't pass, it might just be that person's not a great test taker, or they just have to they didn't have the time to prepare. So anyways, 95% or higher is usually what I determine to be a solid first-time pass rate. And other people will disagree with me on that, but from the data I've seen and the programs that can achieve that, I definitely feel like they prepare their students well. Ultimate pass rate is a different statistic that a lot of programs will publish, and pretty much everyone has 100% ultimate pass rate. What is an ultimate pass rate? This statistic is somewhat misleading because essentially you can take the NPTE up to 6 times before you are disqualified and you can't take it anymore. And even if someone had to take the test 6 times in one of these classes to ultimately pass it, they are included in that statistic for the 100%, right? So let's say on an unfortunate chance that you were someone who had to take the NPTE 3 times. They still would report you as 100% ultimate pass rate even though you didn't pass on the first time. And we don't want to deal with that. We want to take the NPTE 1 time, be done with it, and then we move on from there. I also just want to, put the emphasis that yes, the program is responsible for preparing you, but ultimately you are responsible for preparing yourself for this exam. So some people have argued with me that maybe I'm putting too much stock in the school's NPTE, but it is an indicator of how well they prepare you. So I think it's worthwhile to take a look at. And of course, it's up to you. You have to study. You have to take ownership of how you prepare for that examination. But I do think it's an important factor to look at. So those are 2 more things that after you've beefed up your list using the process that we've talked about in the past few videos, now you can add this to further help you understand this is what we're going to use to help us differentiate the programs that are better. And we have another video that we'll talk about where there's even more things that we can use to differentiate and really refine and funnel down that list. Okay, so thanks. Catch you in the next video.